Hey friends, how are y'all doing today? Today is actually December the 31st, the New Year's Eve of 2025. Y'all, I don't know. I don't know if I am extremely happy or if I am extremely sad that 2024 is gone. But I can say that I really enjoyed myself in 2024 reading books. I read so many books, y'all. I tandem read, I read on my Kindle, I listened to audios, I read physical books. Guys, I read so many books in 2024 and I am so extremely proud of myself, and I am so extremely happy that you guys took that journey with me in 2024. So, as of December the 31st, 2024, we are 861 subscribers strong. And I just want to end 2024 with such a gratitude to you guys. I am so grateful that you guys are following me on my content. You're liking my content. You're commenting on my content. And you are just enjoying the life of books just as much as Yolanda's books is. I am so grateful to each and every one of you, and I just did not want to go into 2025 without you guys knowing how valuable you guys were or are to me in 2024 going over into 2025. I am so grateful for you guys. I cannot say it enough. I just had to get that off my chest, y'all. I just am so grateful for you guys. So, if you're not subscribed to my channel, or if you did not subscribe to my channel in 2024, I hope 2025 will lighten your heart and you will actually subscribe to my channel. We do everything bookish over here. And this year in 2025, I am getting myself geared up to actually incorporating my lifestyle along with my bookish lifestyle. So the first video that you guys see or seen in 2025 was a spend the day with me. Me and my kid, we spent the day together. We went out to eat, and we actually went to buy beauty products from like Ross, and we went to Target just to get a couple of things that I wanted. And of course, you know, your girl had to go to the book section in Target because I am that book girly. So I am actually going to incorporate that kind of stuff into my vlogs, because I just want to involve you guys more into my life, not just my bookish life, because I actually do other things that I feel like you guys will actually enjoy. And so I am going to let you guys in on that. But today is not that type of video, guys. Today we're going to talk about my 2025 reading goal. Alright guys, as you see, this will be a truck vlog. I will be talking to you guys within my truck today, because we are actually going to get a few books from the bookstore that I just absolutely have to have. One of the books that I am going to get is The Naturals. I have been hearing everybody talk about The Naturals so much, and I just decided that I want to join in on the party in 2025. So we're going to get The Naturals, and I'm just going to Books A Million. I'm not going cross town to Barnes and Noble. It is going to be The Naturals, and then I want Once Upon a Broken Heart. I have the second book to that series, and I don't want to read the second book without being read the first book. So we will actually go get those 2 books, and I hope those are the only 2 books that I actually pick up from this store, because I have so many books, y'all, that I need to read my physical books, or the physical books that I have. So today we're going to talk about my 2025 reading goals. In 2024, I read 236 books. Yes, guys, I was just eating them up, from mood reading to audiobooks to my Kindle to physical books. I was eating them up, and I loved it. I enjoyed the books that I read so much. Toward the end of that 2024 reading goal, I started reading more historical fiction books, and that was a big change to my genre. And I was so glad that I actually started reading those historical fiction books, because the historical fiction books, they really expanded my knowledge of book reading and expanded my knowledge excuse me, and also expanded my knowledge of history. I have never been a history buff. That just has never been my strong suit when I was actually in school, but it just hits so differently with historical fiction books. Like, for an example, I read Yellow Wife by Sonequa Johnson. I read The Women by Kristen Hanna. I read The First Ladies by Maria Benedict and Victoria Christopher, or something like that. And I read several other of Kristen Hanna's books, and they just really took me there to knowledge about what happened in the historical fiction era, down to when, people were living off their land, when the Great Depression hit, just all the things, guys. And I just really enjoy being able to stick my brain into that genre. So again, I read 236 books. I always try to put my reading goals higher than what I actually know or feel like I'm going to read for that year. But in 2025, I don't think that I'm going to do that to myself, because I don't want to be pressured to actually reach that reading goal, because that is what I set for myself. I would rather enjoy the books more than like fast reading the books, which I did not fast read the books that I read in 2024. But in 2025, I just want to slow down a little bit and enjoy the books even more than what I did in 2025. I want to brighten my horizon again in 2025. I read books by Black authors, but in 2025, I really would love to start ordering more books off of Amazon, so that I can find books that is not hyped up yet. I can find books by indie authors, and I will be able to read those books before a lot of other people do, give my book recommendation on that, my book review on that book, and be able to recommend that book to other people. Amazon is very good at having books that is not actually sold in the bookstore. So I feel like that would be a great spot for me to start, to grasp and to buy more books that I just feel like needs more of the hype. And for 2025, I would just like to do that with my indie Black authors. Also, Instagram. I don't know if any of you guys follow me on Instagram, but it is at Yolandas_books. I post a lot of like real-time life, bookish or lifestyle things that I do within my life, and like current books that I read or current books that I'm reading. And if you're not a follower over there, just go over there, follow me on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, which I don't post as much as I would like to on TikTok, but hopefully in 2025 I will level up with that as well. But I said that to say this: there are a lot of, or at least I have noticed toward the end of 2024, when I actually started really posting my current reads, my book reviews, and just me and my bookish feelings and my bookish girly era, that there were a lot of authors that actually started following me on Instagram. And with that being said, on their platform, a lot of the time, or most of the time, they sell their books there. They sell their books there that has not been picked up by a publishing company yet. And they actually also sell it at like a discounted price at some time or another. So if you are following some of those indie authors, y'all, some of those brand new authors, pay attention to their websites on their Instagram page, because they actually have their little short storybooks on that page of theirs, and you can actually buy them. I bought my first one from Shamika Wrights. I think that's the name of it, but her name is Shamika Irby. And I am so excited to be able to read her book, because she is new to me. She is a Black author. She is new to me, and I am going to hopefully so enjoy her books. And also, guys, book mail. Book mail. Who doesn't like book mail? So when you buy from these indie authors, or when you buy from a author off of their actual page or website or whatever, you get book mail. And when you get book mail, you get all different kind of things from these authors that they have actually made, that you cannot get when you get or buy their book from the bookstore. I love book mail. I love book mail. Who does not love book mail? You get bookmarks, you get candy, you get stickers, y'all. You get stickers. You get all different types of things when you support an indie author off of their Instagram page, or just their page where they actually sell their books and their products. So back to the matter at hand. I strayed off a little bit. I know, I'm sorry, but hey, y'all know I'm a rambler and I like to talk, and that is exactly what we're doing today. So don't come for me, okay? Don't come for me. So 2025 reading goals. What would I like to change in 2025 as far as my reading goes? I really don't have anything that I need to change, because guys, I read 236 books, and almost all of those 236 books, I actually really enjoyed them. But this year, like I said, I just want to slow down a little bit. So I am going to actually decrease the number of books that I am going to put on my Storygraph this 2025 than that I know I will actually read. That way it will give me more time to actually enjoy the books even better than what I actually am or have enjoyed them in 2024. I am a huge mood reader, so every month I do put my TBR out there, but sometimes that TBR does not get read. Some of them get read, or none of them get read, because when I look at my bookshelf, I pick a book or my TBR card. Y'all, sometimes I will look at my TBR card, and all the books that I have on there that is potential readers, it's like I'm just not feeling them for that day or that hour or for that month. So I end up going to my mini bookshelves and looking on my bookshelf, and I shop my bookshelves to just pick a book that I am actually feeling at that moment. I don't know if any of you guys ever do that, but I do. That's why I love having as many books, physical books and bookshelves that I do have in my home. So I'm still going to read a lot of ebooks because I love my Kindle Paperwhite, I love my Kindle Scribe, and there are some books that I just don't want to buy because I'm on the fence about them. Like, maybe I'll like this book, maybe I won't, so I'll just read it free on KU. So Kindle is my friend. I like to read it at night, or just like when I'm in places that I just don't want to pull out my physical book. And of course, y'all, I have toward the end of 2024, I have been obsessed with tandem reading with a physical book and a audiobook. I would love to get to the point, or back to the point, where I can just read a physical book on its own and not read a audiobook along with it, because I had got to the point, y'all, where if I can't find the audio for it, I won't read the book. And I feel like that is a lot of the reason too why I did not reach, or I don't finish my TBRs also for that month, because I have just gotten so obsessed with audiobooks. So I'm going to change that. I'm not going to read as many audiobooks as I did in 2024. I'm going to pick back up my physical books, and I'm going to read my physical books page by page, not page by page, along with not having the book and actually reading or listening to it on audio. But when I am at the coffee shop trying to do some editing, when I am cleaning up my home, or if I am riding in my truck, I am going to listen to audiobooks, because I can't have the physical book in hand, and I cannot hold a Kindle and drive. So those are a few things that I'm going to keep the same, and I'm going to change. I can say that toward the end of this year, I really felt the difference in me reading physical books, book page by page, and listening to audio. I really kind of miss just reading that book and not listening to somebody read it with me or for me. And I don't know, I just want to get back to that in 2025. So drop down in the comments, guys. Let me know if you guys have any 2025 reading resolutions that you are going to uphold yourself to in 2025, and let me know how you guys did on your 2024 reading goals. I want to know, how many books did y'all read? Did y'all enjoy the books that y'all read for 2024? And how many books do y'all want to read for 2025? Another few things that I would like to change or revamp in 2025 is sci-fi books. Sci-fi books. I don't know how that's gonna go, but I am going to research, talk to other people who actually read sci-fi books, and see where their head is about these sci-fi books, and see if there is any sci-fi books that I feel like that I will actually enjoy. And urban fiction, y'all, give me some urban fiction recommendations. I don't know, I need to look it up myself as well. Maybe I have been reading urban fiction books, I don't know, but I want to start opening up my genre to enjoy more of the book world, and so that I can enjoy more of my followers that reads that type of genre. Now, my romance and stuff like that, my rom-coms, y'all, I will never stray away from them, because I love a great romance. I love a great second chance at love. I love a happily ever after. I love a sports romance. Y'all, those are books that just makes me feel so good, because I just love to see people happy, and I love to read a book that has a happily ever after. Don't think I've forgotten about my thrillers, y'all, because every time, or almost every time, that I have a TBR, or if I'm reading a book for that month, I have to have a thriller. That is just no brainer, no pointer. A thriller is what I need. Frida McFadden is my first top thriller writer. So again, y'all, don't come for me. Go talk to your mama. Don't come talking to me about it if you don't like Frida McFadden, because I am a Frida McFadden fan, top and bottom. Okay. One-on-One by Frida McFadden was not my best read by her, but hey, I don't give a crap. I am still a Frida McFadden fan from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. I love Frida. Her plot twists are great. Her storylines are great. She even, for a thriller, she even has a lot of dialogue in her book. I love reading her books. So guys, those are just a few, not that many, I know, things that I would like to change or do in 2025 as far as my 2025 reading goes. I just want to be able to read more physical books than I am actually reading audiobooks. And also, guys, let me show you guys a couple of books that I truly want to make sure I read in 2025. Alright guys, so a few of the books that I promised that I would love to read in the year 2025, or a few of the books that I am definitely going to read at some point in 2025, because they were a staple for me for 2024. I just did not get a chance to read them. And the first one is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I have heard so much about this book. Of course, some was positive, some was negative. This book was just not for some people. And for some people who just did not read fantasy, they really enjoyed reading this book. So I do have Powerful as well, but I think Powerless is the first book in the series of this book. So I'm definitely going to read Powerless in the year of 2025. This book right here has been such a staple in 2024. I have heard nothing but great things about this book. I heard that this book is very emotional, and it was somebody on Instagram or something that told me that you need to read this book before 2024 is over. I did not get a chance to read it, but in 2025, The Reformatory by Tariva Du. I hope that's how you say that name. I'm definitely going to get to reading this book in 2025. It was in Gracetown, Florida in June of 1950. I just hear that this book will just have you emotionally distressed, and that you will just have to really wipe your tears with napkins, because it can and will make you cry. They say it is very deep, very, very deep. Another book that I want to read in the year of 2025 is James by Percival Everett. I looked at the interview that I think it was PBS Kids did with this author about this book. And immediately after that, I decided to go out and pick up this book. I actually picked up his wife's book as well. It's up there on the shelf. But I just really love the way he started out his book with Psalms. And I just feel like this is going to be a great book for me to read in the year of 2025. And I do want to read this one, y'all. It says, when James overhears that he is about to be sold to a man in New Orleans, separated from his wife and daughter forever, he runs away until he can formulate a plan. Meanwhile, Huck has faked his own death to escape his violent father. As all readers of American literature know, thus begins the dangerous and transcendent journey by raft down the Mississippi River toward the ev- exclusive and unreliable promise of the free states and beyond, brimming with the electrifying harmony of lacerating observations that have made Everett a literary icon. This brilliant and tender novel radically illuminates Jim's agency, intelligence, and compassion as never before. James is destined to be a major public event and a cornerstone of the 21st century American literature. So I think this one is like the reimagining of Huckleberry Finn. So I don't even know if I read that book, if there's a book by that. But I know I have seen the movie and I did enjoy the movie. So James by this author. We will be reading that book in the year of 2025, definitely. I have to get into one of the Elsie Silver's series. I haven't read the, gosh, what is the name of it? I'll pop up a picture of one of the books. I have not read that series yet, and I just got to read that series because I hear so many people talk about that they love that series so much, and then they said that they love the Rose Hill series even better. So Wild Love by Elsie Silver, we will start this series in the year of 2025, and also I want to read that other series as well, and I don't think I have. Yes, I do. All right, y'all. So I don't have to pop up a picture of it, but it is the, what is the name of this series, y'all? Y'all know what I'm talking about, but this is the book. I just cannot believe that the name of this series, the Chestnut Spring series. So I have not started reading the Chestnut Spring series as of yet, but I think I'm going to try to make it my business to start book one of each of these series. So Elsie Silver is a top author on my radar to read for the year of 2025. And as y'all know, like I said, I am trying to read more Black author books in the year of 2025. So Mirror Girls is another book that is high on my radar to read for 2025 by Kelly McWilliams. I think it's about like two girls. I think their parents were killed. One of them was like, and it kind of reminds me of The Vanishing Half. One of them obviously is, can go for Black, and then the other girl, the other sister, is actually living like a white life. It says, as infant twin sister, Charlie Yates and Magnolia Hathwood were secretly separated after the brutal lynching of their parents. Now at the dawn of the Civil War movement, Charlie is a young Black organizer in Harlem, while white passing Magnolia is the heiress of a cotton plantation in rural Georgia. So doesn't that remind you of The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett? I think that's the name of that author. Reminds me so much of that book because it was the same way. It was two sisters. One of them was diligently like in their community as a Black lady, and then the other sister was actually had a whole life as being a white lady. Magnolia knows nothing of her racial heritage. This is the one that is living the white life, but secrets are hard to keep in a town haunted by the ghost of its slave-holding past. When Magnolia finally learns the truth, her reflection mysteriously disappears from mirrors and the sign of a terrible curse. Wow. Meanwhile, in Harlem, Charlie's beloved grandmother falls ill. Her final wish is to be buried back in Georgia and to see how long her long lost granddaughter. Y'all, this is like the splitting image of The Vanishing Half. I think that's what it was called, The Vanishing Half. But it was like, it's kind of like sound like the splitting image of that book, because I think the grandmother or something in The Vanishing Half was sick. I think she died. And I want to say that it was the same scenario. Like, she wanted to see the other sister before she actually passed away. Quote me if I'm wrong. Write it down in the comments. I might be wrong. But tell me that y'all don't feel like the Mirror Girls actually sounds just like The Vanishing Half. I hope that it doesn't down me out from reading this book, because it makes me feel like I'm reading like another book that I had just read. But I'm very, very interested in reading this to get to know more about Charlie and Magnolia. I did go to the bookstore today. I went to Books A Million. I specifically went to pick up 2 books. Ended up getting 3 books and 2 vinyl records. I got a Tina Turner vinyl record, and I got a Mariah Carey vinyl record, her Christmas vinyl record, because that vinyl record sells. I mean, it's going to be a staple sooner or later. So the book that I did not want to pick up, or did not have any intentions of picking up, is the second book that I will be reading by this author, Megan Lally. She wrote That's Not My Name. And that was a pretty good thriller book. I did enjoy that book. So the cover of this book just screamed at me. I was looking at another book, and then I saw this cover of this book, and I was like, nah, I'm going to put that book down and I'm going to get this book. It's called No Place Left to Hide by Megan Lally. Y'all, look at this cover. If this cover is not screaming thriller, I don't know what is. So it says she can't run from her past. Tollbrook, image is everything. Sorry. She works hard to maintain perfect grades, perfect looks, and a perfect life, especially after the incident that threatened it all. Getting into her dream university puts her that much closer to a fresh start. How can she say no to the celebrating with all her classmates? Hanging out with her crush by the bonfire is the perfect end of the night, except it isn't the end. An old SUV starts aggressively tailing Brooke and her best friend on an isolated road toward home. Someone thinks they know the truth about the incident, and they won't stop until it's all out in the open. This terrifying drive is about to bring out Brooke's worst fears if she survives. Y'all, a great thriller. Great sounding thriller. And these 2 are the books that I purposely went to Books A Million to pick up. I've been hearing so much about the Naturals series by Jennifer Barnes. So I went to Books A Million to pick up The Naturals. And it says 17-year-old Casey Hobbs is a natural at reading people. Piecing together the tiniest details, she can tell you who you are and what you want. But it's not a skill that she's ever taken seriously. That is until the FBI comes knocking. They began to classify a program that uses exceptional teenagers to crack infamous cold cases, and they need Cassie. So basically the FBI is using like teenagers to crack cases that they have not been able to solve. So hopefully I will enjoy this read. I did see almost all the books there at Books A Million, but I don't know if I'm going to like it, because I do have the Inheritance game that is written by this author as well. I have it on my audio to read. So I will see how I like that. And then I will also get into The Naturals sooner or later to see if I want to read the rest of the series. And I have The Ballad of Never After. I was going to start reading that book, y'all, until I looked at QT and she brought it to my attention that this is a series, and the first book in it is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. So we picked up the first book in that series, which is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Gardner. She wrote The Carnival and all that. I have that book, but I have not started reading that book at all. But I really wanted to get into this series. I don't know, guys, maybe for the year of 2025, maybe I will just try to read pretty much all the series books that I have and read a few standalone books. I don't know. Y'all let me know down in the comments what kind of 2025 reading style should I have. Should I just read what I want, read standalone books, read book series, or how many book series should I read for the year of 2025? How many book series do you guys plan on reading? Do you plan on reading any? And what type of books are you planning on reading more in 2025 that you did not read in 2024? And I'm going to say this, guys, and I'm going to try my best to stick to my plan for the beginning, the beginning of 2025. I am going to shop my bookshelves and read the books that I have had for quite some time versus going to the bookstore and buying books. And I think I probably put my foot in my mouth because y'all know how I love buying books. But I'm going to try my best to shop my bookshelves more and read those books than buying so many books in the year of 2025, so that I can get them read, keep them, and put them on the library bookshelf that I'm going to have so that other people can read them as well, or give them to a little free library. So guys, that is just me chit-chatting with you guys about my 2025 reading challenge or reading goals. And I hope you guys have a great 2025. I hope your 2024 was good. And y'all, I am so stinking excited to level up with y'all and to read all these books with you guys and go on all these lifestyle vlogs and all these book vlogs and all the things, guys. And I cannot leave without acknowledging, hold on, y'all. I cannot leave without acknowledging my oldest child, Takaya Linton, TK Do Hair on Instagram. If y'all are in the area of Tallahassee, Florida, Thomasville, Georgia, y'all look her up and get her to do your hair. These plaits, they came strictly by her hands, and she has a great personality. She has a great work ethic, and she is a very punctual person. If she has to come to you, or she expects you to be punctual if you have to come to her. So check her out. She does wigs, she does dreads, of course she does knotless plaits, and she does a very good job, y'all. So shout out to my oldest daughter, who is about to give me my first grandchild, on the hair. Guys, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.